The Kansas Statewide Homeless Coalition is here to give you an overview of the Coordinated Entry System, or CES, a resource designed to assist individuals and families experiencing homelessness or housing instability. So, what is the Coordinated Entry System? CES aims to standardize the access, assessment, prioritization, and referral processes across all agency providers in a community in order to quickly and successfully provide assistance. It is one way in which some homelessness assistance is allocated in Kansas. It establishes a common process to assess the situation of all individuals and families who request help, and when resources are scarce, the CES process prioritizes who will receive assistance based on vulnerability and need. So, who can be served through CES? Persons lacking permanent stable housing can be connected to coordinated entry. Most programs require people to meet definitions of homelessness set by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. That includes individuals and families who are on the streets or other place not meant for habitation, or in emergency shelters, including those in a hotel paid for by an agency. It also includes individuals exiting an institution they have been in for 90 days who are literally homeless prior to entering, or for individuals and families fleeing or attempting to flee domestic violence who have no other residence and lack the resources or support networks to obtain other permanent housing, and individuals and families who are at imminent risk of losing their housing, whose residence will be lost within 14 days of the date of application for homeless assistance, no subsequent residence has been identified, and the individual or family lacks the resources or support networks needed to obtain other permanent housing. Individuals and families who do not have permanent housing, such as those staying in a hotel that they are paying for, can be added to the CES list but would not be eligible for most programs unless they meet one of these definitions prior to being enrolled. The Kansas Statewide Homeless Coalition manages CES for 101 of the 105 counties in Kansas, split into 9 regions. If your client is wanting to be housed in Sedgwick, Shawnee, Wyandotte, or Johnson counties, please refer to our website to get connected to their CES. Those links can be found by clicking the CES Help Request form. There are multiple ways individuals and households can get connected to CES, known as access points. Access points are housing providers that have been trained in CES and can act as the starting point for individuals and families experiencing a housing crisis. These include street outreach teams, emergency shelters, and other housing agencies or community partners. Please note that coordinated entry is not the only route to housing, but it can be one avenue. Now that we've talked about what CES is, let's talk about how people access it. In order to access CES, an individual or family can either contact a housing provider in their area or can submit a help request on our website with the CES Help Request form. Either way, the agency or the CES team will offer to complete an assessment with the individual or family. This assessment is used to help prioritize and connect the individual or family with appropriate resources. If the household is experiencing homelessness, they will be added to the CES list for the region they are wanting to be housed. If they are at risk of homelessness, they will be directly referred to a program so that program can determine eligibility for prevention funds if available. Housing providers who have been trained in CES meet at least monthly for case conferencing. During CES case conferencing meetings, providers with program openings request referrals. Referrals go to the next available highest scoring individual or family who meets the program's eligibility requirements. Providers may advocate for their clients to receive a referral if they do not believe the score accurately reflects their vulnerability. We review the CES list to check in households who are still seeking services. Your client must be checked in at least once every 90 days to remain on the CES list. And we may collaboratively discuss individuals and families to work to resolve their housing crisis if time allows. There are a few types of programs that can be referred to through CES. Homelessness programs that refer through CES include rapid rehousing, transitional housing, and permanent supportive housing. Common eligibility requirements for these programs include meeting the definitions of literal homelessness we previously discussed, such as being on the streets, in a shelter, or fleeing domestic violence. Permanent supportive housing programs also include eligibility requirements to have a disability and at least 12 months of homelessness over the last 3 years. Homelessness prevention is for individuals and families at risk of experiencing homelessness. Eligibility requirements for these programs include having received a written notice that they must vacate their housing within 21 days. Individual programs may also have additional eligibility or geographical requirements. Due to high demand and limited resources, there are typically wait times for housing program referrals, and participation in coordinated entry does not guarantee that a referral will be provided. Prioritization for referrals is based on vulnerability and need, not on a first-come, first-served basis. It is therefore not possible to provide a timeline for if and when a referral will be received. If your client finds housing while waiting for services, please reach out to the CES team by emailing ces@kshomeless.com, and we will remove them from the list of individuals and families actively seeking services. If your client receives a referral for a program, the housing agency will contact them directly to determine eligibility and gather documentation. Important notes about CES. Coordinated entry is a process, not an immediate housing solution. It is not a guarantee for housing, but it can open up options, and it is not the only avenue to housing. Exploring all potential housing resources and opportunities with your client is important too. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions or concerns, you can email us at ces@kshomeless.com.